5-room Bishan HDB flat broke record again within a month. So today, I'm covering this video plus 3 key learnings. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Let's do a quick recap. I'm going to show you the top 3 HDB record transactions in recent years. Number 3. This is a Pinnacle at Duxton resale HDB flat. We have actually broke the 1 million record quite some time back, and now we are beyond 1.2 mil and inching towards 1.3 million. Record number 2. This is actually a HDB terrace house, which is very rare and unique because it's not exactly the HDB flat, but under the purview of HDB. If you take a look at the inside of this HDB, it's actually quite well renovated. The price is very attractive. The only catch is that it's a 49 years old. Likely the buyer for this house is not aiming for any capital appreciation at the end of the tenure, because all HDB flats are supposed to be returned to the government at the end of the lease, with only 4% chance of being unblocked or sales. This is a newly crowned champion, the 5-room HDB at Natural Loft, Bishan. According to the Straits Times, the 3 key factors for this $1 million factors are central location, unblocked views, and a well-maintained interior. For your information, this 5-room Bishan HDB is above 35th floor and it's just about 10 years old. What can we learn from this article? There are 3 personal learnings that I can share with the audience and viewers. Okay, lesson number 1, HDB winning formula. It seems that age and location are very important price factors for HDB resale flats. I did a video recently and it was on an article that shows age is more important than location. Maybe you can take a look at this video when you're free. It seems that if you have the age and location factors plus a third factor, which is the unblocked views, this looks like the winning factors for the $1 million HDB flat. Lesson number 2. Is ID investment a plus or minus? Okay, this is a quote from the article. The sellers spend almost 100k on renovation with frequent touch-up over the years. This is my question for you. If the owner did not spend so much on the renovation in ID, will he has profit more? This question is very subjective. When I look at these 3 pictures, the first 2 things that capture my attention is the unblocked views plus the scantic furnitures. I personally don't think that is worth 100k. But again, this is very subjective. Renovation can be a plus or minus. It depends on whether your future buyer likes the renovation. My personal sharing, for those new buyers or new owners of HDB flats, if you know that you're not going to stay beyond 5 years, that you're going to sell after the MOP, then maybe it's not so wise to invest too much money in the ID. Lesson number 3, this is about private property dream. This is a direct quote from the article. The sellers are the Singaporean Chinese couple in the late 50s, moving on to a private property. This is a very personal sharing that's close to my heart. I always feel that for young people, you should aim to buy a private property when you're younger, and you have to work harder because you got to service that loan. Why do I say that? For private properties in Singapore, the maximum loan tenure is 30 years if you're aged 35 years and below. As you age older, your loan period gets shorter, which means you get a smaller loan amount. My advice for young people in Singapore, when you're young, you can take a bigger loan and you should work harder so that when you're older, you can afford to retire with a lot of spare cash. This is the plan. When you reach age 65, you can assume that the loan is fully paid for. At that time, you can consider to right size or downsize to a HDB flat with spare cash. From what we know from this article, the sellers are selling the HDB and moving on to a private property. There's no mention about the buyers, but from the records of those buyers for the $1 million HDB flats, quite a number of them are retirees or older folks who want to sell away their private property, like a landed property or bigger condo. For these retirees, most of their kids have grown up and moved out, so they do not need such a big landed property or big condo. So their preferred choice is to downgrade or right size to a HDB with spare cash. Just imagine if they have sold away their landed property for 3 to 4 million or a large condo for 2 to 3 million. After paying for this $1 million HDB flats, they still have a lot of ample cash on hand for their retirement. This is the best ideal situation that I can think of. Work harder when you're young, so that when you're old, you can retire with spare cash. I sincerely hope that my 3 lessons are useful for you, and I'll continue to monitor the market and do an update in my video. From my take, we're going to break the 1.3 million record for HDB flats very soon, and in the near future, maybe breaking the 1.5 million psychological barrier for HDB might not be a dream. Alright, stay tuned and see you in my next video. Thank you.